Welcome back, everyone, to Backyard Bash 2019. So right now we have today Fred the Bear. How's it going so far?
Going super good. It's a really, really nice day outside.
It is really nice. It's still a little hot, but you got some areas to be in the shade, so that's nice too.
Stage is well positioned to be in the shade. It was actually cool on stage. So
that's good. All right, so just a couple of questions. So how did you start playing?
Me personally, I started playing bass when I was in 5th grade. We started as a band collectively known as Fred the Bear about 8 years ago. Something like that.
Awesome.
So,
who influences your music?
Our front guy, Ray, writes a lot of songs, and you can kind of tell that he's got a very country slant to some of his writing, and he's his dad was really big into some of the old school country legends, and so you can tell that some of that's in there. But then he's also very musical, so he's he's got a very broad, eclectic palette, I'll say. Kind of borders on it a little bit more on the folky kind of singer-songwritery stuff, but then he likes a mean guitar every once in a while. So
awesome.
Oh.
How long have you guys been playing?
8 years. 8 years in this configuration. So in the current configuration that we're in now, which is usually 5 people, about 2. The band started out originally with 2 guitar players, Ray and Rick, and Rick stepped away from the band a couple years after I joined the group. Bob, our drummer, joined because of me, and then his wife Beth now plays keys to kind of fill in that spot that Rick vacated when he left. So
fun.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what is your favorite song on the playlist?
Our playlist today, probably my favorite song. I've got 2. I really like Promised Land because I kind of like that walking bass line stuff because I'm a bass player. And I really like our version of the Petty song that we did, You're So Bad. It's very original, unique.
Awesome. What was one of your favorite places you've ever played?
Oh, that's a tricky question. So we just played down at Thursday's downtown in Rochester. And we got to play on one of their evening stages.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. We played, there was, hundreds of people there. So it was like one of our larger crowds. I'd say that one of the more wild places we've played is we've made a pilgrimage to Halleck, Minnesota 2 years now in a row. It's kind of where our name came from, is from the Halleck area. That's where Ray is from, our front guy. There's a bar owner up there who had a place called the Bear's Den, and they just simply knew him as Fred the Bear. And literally, we went up there last year when we went out and visited we went to his gravesite. His gravesite literally just says Fred the Bear. It doesn't even say his real name.
How cool is that?
He's like a Paul Bunyan, Gandhi, like David Grohl type character up in that area of the world. Yeah, so it was really cool to do that homage, to go up there and that's kind of where our name came from, because that was the first place that Ray ever played out as a musician, kind of getting his start when he was a teenager. So
how fun.
Yeah.
So this is a personal question for you. What is your dream instrument? What is the one instrument that you wanted to get that you don't have yet?
Oh boy. Well, I'm a bass player, so I would just really like I play upright, and I own a couple. But the instrument that I really want right now is it's kind of an electric acoustic upright, so it's small and it's light, and it sounds just like an upright bass. I don't know the name of it, but I know what it looks like. It's kind of it's like a semi-hollow body, and that would be one thing. I also did see an upright bass that had a lion's head for a scroll instead of just the curly Q at the top of it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, and I've had dreams about that instrument. Like, I've searched for other versions of that online and have not been able to find one. So that would be my ultimate acquisition, I guess.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a really big question. It's an important question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite Marvel character?
Thor.
Yes. What is your reason behind it?
I think that, I think gods are cool. Norse gods are cool. I'm a Vikings fan, and he's like a Viking, so that's part of it. But I like his evolution in the MCU, if you're going to follow the movies. I've actually read some of his comics though, and obviously they don't follow the same total thing, but you really see him become a hero throughout the story. I mean, throughout the movie stories that he's in, you really see him become a true actual hero, and not just some kind of punk entitled wannabe, you know. So yeah, I like that.
Sweet. All right, last question. Do you guys have any concerts coming up?
We do. So you can catch us in Northfield. We play at Imminent Brewing about once a month. So check our website, fredthebear.com, where we will post a link to this interview and post it to our Facebook page and all that kind of stuff. We play a big concert, benefit concert at the Paradise Theater in Faribault, which is not that far from here. November 15th, it's a Tom Petty tribute, so it'll be a bunch of local bands and us are going to team up and bring a bunch of different Tom Petty songs to the population, and it's going to go for a cause to benefit the Paradise Theater. So,
well, thank you very much again. It's Fred the Bear. We're happy to have you guys. Thank you for coming out. Hopefully see you again next year.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.